Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Rick Wallace. Moving around, spent some time with the grandson this morning. It's about 7-something. Heading into the office for Saturday. We got an episode of The Teachers with Dr. Michael Blanchard. We have an exciting guest on, a former officer in the U.S. Navy who's talking about life in the Navy as a black person and the activism that he took out. That's going to be great. And we have our first Q&A session for the Epic Realm community of high achievers. I am so excited about what's going to happen as this thing develops and people start to actually utilize the resources that are available within this membership. What I want to talk to you about today is real simple. As I drive in, because I'm probably not going to have time to do an actual live stream when I get there, so we're doing this video now. Look, I come across a lot of people who come to me and tell me that they want to work with me. They watch some videos, they maybe read a book, or they noticed that I had written quite a few books, and they make up in their mind, hey, I like what this guy is saying, I like how he says it, I think I want to work with him. And we sit down for that first consultation, and within a matter of minutes I realize that they may want something, but they don't want it bad enough. One of my colleagues, a guy that I absolutely love, and I admire his story, I admire his grit, is E.T., Eric Thomas. And yes, it's cold in Houston. If you actually saw some vapor come out of my mouth, that's because it's cold and I just jumped in the truck, turned it on, and it hasn't had time to completely warm up in here. So it's warming up though. Thank God for seat warmers. But anyway, it's Eric Thomas, man. I love Eric Thomas' story, and I think everybody should know who Eric Thomas is and know his story. But basically, childhood in Detroit, didn't know his father, had issues with his stepfather because he was mad at his father and his mom, so he ran away as a teenager and was living in buildings, eating out of trash cans, and then finally decided he wanted to do something a little bit later, went to school, got his GED, eventually went to college. Took a while, I think he said 12 years to get a 4-year degree, but he did. But ultimately now he's Dr. Eric Thomas. You would never know it because the brother is so down to earth and he's so fire. Man, like I said, I really love him and how he does what he does and how unique his move is, and he stays in his lane, and he stayed him, and that's important to me. Is he stayed him? He proved that you could be all that and still be you. But there's a story that Eric tells, and you've probably heard it if you follow Eric, and it's the story of the guru. But anyway, there's this guru and for those of you who have heard the word guru on social media so many times that it turns you off and whatever, let me explain something to you. It's an Indian word, and guru simply means teacher. You're a guru of something, you're a teacher of something. But that was this guru that was giving a lecture on success, and somebody in the audience approached him and said, hey, I want you to teach me how to be as successful as you are. And the guru said, are you sure you're ready? Are you sure you want it bad enough? And he said, yes. He said, okay, meet me down at the beach at 5 in the morning. And the guy said, what does the beach have to do? And why I got to be there? He said, if you want it bad enough, meet me at the beach at 5 in the morning. Well, when he gets there, he walks out on the beach, and the guru's standing out in the surf. He's already in the water. And the guy is looking, and he's motioning to him, telling him to come on. And he's like, well, for what? Why am I coming out there? And anyway, the story is he goes out and he gets to the guru, and the guru says, "You sure you want it?" He said, "Yeah." So the guru just takes him and dumps him under the water and holds him under the water, and he can't breathe. And so he's holding him under the water till he feels he's almost about to pass out. Then he'll let him up for a second, let him catch his breath, but then he'll dump him back down in there. He did that several repetitions of letting him almost pass out, and then letting him up to gasp for air, and then putting him back down. And when he finally let him up and he studied, now he's catching his breath for good. He's breathing hard. And the guru asked him, "When I had you underwater, what is the one thing you wanted more than anything else?" And he said, "To breathe." He said, "When you want success as bad as you want to breathe, you'll have it." And that story has always resonated with me. But what I tell you is, the vast majority of people who come to me don't want it bad enough to have it. They want it, and they're willing to do X, Y, Z, but they don't want it as bad as they want to breathe. See, when you want it as bad as you want to breathe, there's no stopping you, because you've got to get it. If you're trying to breathe, you're going to do whatever it takes within your power, everything, to breathe. And it's that thing. You've got to have that. You got to be willing to make the sacrifices. You got to be willing to go the distance. You got to be willing to get up early in the morning. You got to be willing to work through some things. You got to be willing to miss some parties, miss some concerts, and miss a few family events. Hey, look, I would love to be there, but I'm building something right now. I'm growing something right now. I'm developing something right now. I can't make it. I love you, but I got to get this. I got to get it. And then you got to get around other people who want it. They want it bad enough, bad as they want to breathe as well. You got to get around people that's literally suffocating for success. And that's the thing that I don't see in a lot of people. They talk about they want it, but they want it within the confines of what makes them comfortable. They want it where they can get up at 8 or 9 o'clock every day and shut down at 4 o'clock. They want work hours. No, business and building hours ain't work hours. Let me tell you something about that. Building a business, building an empire, building financial security is not work hours. Those hours are totally different. Trust me on that. Okay, they want work hours. They want free access to everything they need. They don't want to have to invest in themselves. They don't want to have to take a risk and spend money. They just want to step out there and say, "Hey, look, this is what I'm doing." Then if I do spend, I'll go buy the book, or I'll buy this. But they're not willing to go all in. They're not dedicated enough to themselves. Let me tell you something. That's not wanting it as bad as you. I'm going to tell you, there's a reason why the top 1% outperforms the 99. And I'll add in, some six-figure people and say, okay, the top 5% significantly outperforms the other 95. Number one is, there are just some things they're willing to do that the 95 aren't. It's that simple. The 95% has all of these barriers that they won't cross over, that they won't knock down, that they won't move through. And I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get success at a level that sets you apart. And the whole goal is to get to a point where you're elevated, where you're no longer part of average, where you're not operating in mediocrity. See, we live in a world now where mediocrity is acceptable. Think about it. You go through a school system that trains you to be okay with mediocrity. Why? Because anybody that's okay with mediocrity is easily manipulated. If I'm okay with mediocrity, I'll take a job that makes me comfortable, but never ever sets me up to be completely independent and successful. I'll take it because I'm okay with mediocrity. And mediocrity doesn't even sound bad to most people anymore. And for those it does sound bad to, they'll just switch it up and say I'm average. Well, average is the same thing. It means that you're moving around in a conundrum of nothingness that allows people to manipulate you. This isn't me taking a shot. This is me keeping it real. And a lot of people are going to be turned off by this because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't sound good. It sounds condescending. I'm not condescending. If I was condescending, I would be thinking I was better than you. No, I'm not better than you. I just move differently. I'm just willing to do some things you're not willing to do. No difference at all. Your gift is exceptional. Your gift is extraordinary. Your gift is phenomenal. How you are moving in your gift is the problem. And let me tell you something. the magnificent creator of the universe didn't design you for you to move around and represent that design through mediocrity and being average. Average is the default setting of doing just what everybody else is doing. So you get what everybody else is getting. You become a part of the average equation. And yet, some of you are significantly below average. And again, in those who are significantly below average, there's nothing average about your gift. You are simply choosing not to operate in it. You're simply choosing. But think about it. School sets you up to accept average. Why? How do they do that? Man, you can get into some decent colleges with a C average, you know, a C plus. You get a 2.5. You can get almost any community, a city college with a D. You can literally get you a diploma with a D average. Now that's below average, but you can get a D average, which is below average, and get your diploma which said you successfully completed something. So it's actually being associated with being successful. And there's nothing successful about having a D. It says you got into it and you found where you naturally moved, or where you thought you naturally moved, and you realized, or you thought you realized, that, hey, this is just who I am. I can't do any better than this. I'm just a D student. And so that's what I'm going to do. No, you may learn differently than everybody else. So your learning curve is off the whack, but they're trying to teach you in a generalized, universal manner of teaching, and you don't respond well. You got to find your sweet spot on how you learn, and you got to teach yourself. But I can tell you, I've turned D students into A students by simply spending enough time with them to find out how they learn, then showing them how to take the universal method and convert it into how they learn, so they can learn even though somebody's teaching them the wrong way. Because you're supposed to teach to a person's strength, not how you want to teach. But that's a whole nother story. But in that, you got way too many people that are sitting up there and accepting the fact that I've had people come to me and tell me, you know, I've never been good at school. You know, I'm not that sharp. You know, what and the truth of the matter is, we get to them like, where did that come from? Who said that to you when you were growing up? Where did you get that idea from? That you weren't smart? Where did you get that idea from that you were intellectually average, or intellectually challenged, or slow, or learning disabled, and all these other things that people have thrown? Where did you get it from? Who told you that about yourself? But what happened is, whoever told it to them had some authority in their life, a teacher, a principal, even sometimes a parent. They're telling them that, you know, hey, you know, don't worry about it. You know, this is just who you're gonna be. We're gonna help you now. No. Well, we need to find your zone. We need to find your shine. Instead of sitting up and saying, hey, you don't have shine, find the shine, because every kid has shine. Stop making these kids feel like they're less than the best because they don't move the way the world says they're supposed to move. Find their shine. Everybody's not meant to do things a certain way. Find their shine. But what happens is, somebody blocked your shine, told you you weren't anything but average, and you accepted. The moment you accepted it, it became your reality. It established all the limitations, all the things that will govern what you think you could do in this world, what you would try to do in this world, what you would move to, what you would gravitate to, and what you would be okay with, what you would tolerate in this world. I'm telling you now, that can no longer be acceptable. That's something great out there for you. That's something great for you to do. The world needs you to find your shine. The world needs you to rise to the level of your design. The world needs you to become something exceptional and extraordinary, to expose the possibilities that are in this world for everybody. You got a few, and people are thinking they're special. The only thing special about them is their work ethic. The only thing special about them is their mindset and the way they think. The only thing special about them is something that anybody can develop. You can develop the right thinking. You can develop the right mindset. You can develop the right work ethic. Ain't nothing about them inherently special. They got a gift, and they're working the heck out of it. I've seen people who didn't discover their gift and were still shining simply because of work ethic. So, I got a real quick question for you. How bad do you want it? How far are you willing to go? That's my question. Do you want it as bad as you want to breathe? Look, I'm about to get off of here. Look in the description box. I created the Epic Realm community of high achievers. It's for people who want to excel, who want to go to the next level, who want to do something extraordinary, and they want to be around people who are doing extraordinary things. They want to be around people who are aspiring for greatness. They want to be around people who are taking it to the next level, and they want that community. They also want an opportunity to build their circle. They want an opportunity to develop, to grow, to become the best they can possibly be. They want that connectivity. They want programs that's going to teach them about finance. They want programs that's going to teach them about developing and starting businesses. They want programs that's going to teach them all the stuff that they need to know in order to do the exceptional things that they want to do. If you want to be a part of that community, the link is in the box to enroll as a member in the Epic Realm community of high achievers. And I tell you what, those people who enroll in Epic Realm right now will receive a free rapid change breakthrough session with yours truly. Now remember, it's in these types of encounters where I'm going to study and I'm going to learn just how ready you are. And I'm going to tell you where you're at and what you need to do. And I'm going to tell you how important it is. And I'm going to show you the first step in this rapid change breakthrough session to change your life. And if you take that step, your life will change. And that's a normal $350 session. It's a $350 value that I'm going to give you if you sign up and enroll for this 1-year membership. We're going to set 2022 on fire. I will accept nothing less than turning 2022 upside down and getting everything possible out of it. And I'm bringing as many people with me as I can. This is something extraordinary. This is something exceptional. If you're ready, bring it. On that note, I'm out of here. I got to get in this office. I got 45 minutes to set up for this episode of The Teachers. If you haven't watched that, check it out. We talking about real issues. We're teaching everything from health, business, and how to move in the Black community. We're talking about socializing young Black males. We're talking about a lot of things on there. Today's session is going to be fire. Next week's session is going to be great. So also tune into that. But yeah, the Epic Realm community, definitely getting part of that. I want to find out just how bad you want it. On that note, I'm out of here.